Well, thanks for joining us today. My name is Ted Lotus, and I'm the Managing Director for Latin America and Southern Asia with Literacy and Evangelism International. And joining me today are Bruce and Jay Hansen, who are also missionaries with LEI. So can you guys just introduce yourself and explain what you do within the ministry?
Well, we've been with LEI since 2003, and we are coordinators for the Caribbean. Our main work is with the Haitian people, both in Haiti and in Florida, and we teach literacy in Creole, and we teach ESL in the States and in Haiti. We also do some work in the Dominican Republic with Haitians there and with Spanish communities there.
And my primary work is, again, in Latin America and India. So as we talk today, I'm going to be drawing from experiences in those two regions. And Bruce and Jay are going to be drawing from experiences serving in the Caribbean and also Florida and now California. And today, the focus of our time here is to give you the best practices and the best tips that we can think of for how to prepare for the teacher training workshop. And so you as literacy leaders are going to be tasked, after you promote literacy ministry among churches, your task is going to be to organize a teacher training workshop. And there's a lot that goes into that. And so we're just going to give some additional insights that aren't necessarily found in the book. So to start, we're going to talk about the workshop aim. What is the purpose of the teacher training workshop? Do you guys want to add anything outside of what's in the book to the purpose of the TTW?
Yes, so it's an opportunity to focus on what LEI's mission is, which is to teach people to read so they can read the Bible for themselves in their own language, the one they understand the best, and to improve their lives in many other ways also.
Excellent. Yeah, it's so important to constantly be reminding people of the mission, why they're here. Because in dealing with volunteers, there's constant obstacles, there are constant discouragements that come along the way. So from the very beginning, reminding people of the purpose why you're here is so crucial. And when we talk about the length of the course, the book recommends anywhere between 15 to 30 hours for churches, and with teacher training workshops within institutions like secondary schools or Bible colleges or seminaries, that time can be reduced a little bit. The reason for those variances is primarily because when you're dealing with a Bible school setting, the context is very much academic, and you're dealing with people who are used to studying and learning, and they typically pick up the method a lot quicker than if you're doing a teacher training workshop, for instance, in a remote village where people may have some literacy skills, but they're very basic. And so in that case, even 30 hours might not be enough. And so some of our partners have done different lengths of courses. For example, in Ghana, our team there has adopted the model of a 5-day teacher training workshop. So that's 5 full days because I felt like 3 days just wasn't long enough to really train teachers well, especially in the rural areas. And so depending on your context, the situation where you are, you may be able to do a TTW in 3 days or maybe even 2 days. But if you're working in an area that's more remote where there's less lower level of education and less literacy, then typically you want to have a longer teacher training workshop. And the length of the course doesn't necessarily have to be 3 consecutive days. For example, one of our missionaries in Peru, sometimes he does a series of 8 nights to complete the 27 hours of the teacher training workshop that's recommended in the schedule at the end of chapter 2. He breaks that up over 8 different nights for 3 hours a night, and that gives him the 24 hours necessary, 27 if you count the lunch break. And so there are different ways of doing the teacher training workshop, and we've seen it done many different ways. What do you guys typically do in a teacher training workshop? Do you do the 3-day model?
Most of the time we do the 3-day model, but we agree on the number of hours, yeah.